Somewhere out in the back blocks of Australia's Red Centre, there's a cloud of dust created by a battered old 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser called Alice. Behind the wheel is a wonderful young woman, Edwina Robertson, and next to her, her Bitzer dog, Geordie. The three of them are on a mission to discover Australia and to bridge that great divide between the city and the bush. Edwina, Eddie as she's known, doesn't have any money, so she's funding her journey by trading her skills as a professional photographer with bush families in return for hospitality and a bit of fuel for Alice. It's such a simple yet glorious adventure, I just had to go along for the ride.
I've been everywhere. Well, I was humping my bluey on the dusty Oodnadatta Road when
Edwina, where have you been?
Oh, God. Okay, so Drillam, Cunnamulla, Quilpie, Junda, Batuta, Birdsville,
Do you hear the music?
Cloncurry.
Do you hear some music, say?
Oh, man of travel, I've had my share, man, I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdale.
I have no idea where we are now, but Edwina Robertson has probably been here before. She's been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, bare man.
Hardo Station, Exmouth, Onslow, York,
Started wish I hadn't asked. Take it away, lucky star.
I'm the fellow who's been everywhere, man.
It's called Wonder of the West, and it's wandering because I don't actually know what I'm doing.
You're a kind of a modern-day swaggy or a tinker or a minstrel.
A minstrel.
You'll sing for your supper, but you're taking photos.
I'll wash dishes for my supper. I'll do whatever I can.
Eddie is on an odyssey across country Australia. Rattling along in her outback chariot named Alice. The trip of a lifetime through diverse and captivating landscapes and, remarkably, without spending a cent.
I'm bartering my services as a photographer to people who would never, ever have the experience or the money even to potentially pay for a professional photographer to come to their station and take photos of their family. In return for a night's accommodation, a bit of grub and some fuel to keep me going.
Are you happy?
I think he's pretty happy. He wants a pat.
A swaggy's best mate has always been the dog.
Geordie back. Quick, quick, quick. Hop over.
So, along with Eddie and Alice, you also get Geordie.
Good boy. Good boy. Sit down.
Dogs and children never work with them.
Sit down. Good boy. Stay there.
I'd like to know whether you feel entirely safe out here.
You know, I know the rules to travelling out back. If you break down, don't leave your car. Have a GPS tracker, have a satellite phone, let people know where you're going.
I'm sure your mum's happy to hear that.
I hope so.
And the other rule is don't take that turn off to Wolf Creek.
Yes!
Happiest Friday from Tottenham in the centre of New South Wales.
This walkabout has a modern twist. The Bush Telegraph has gone digital.
So I'm looking for any stations between Karratha and Carnarvon. I'll take some photos for you today.
When Eddie gets reception, she posts online.
She's flat, no doubt about that at all. So I've just felt the ramifications of travelling around Australia with no money.
She beams videos of her adventures back to the big smoke.
Today is day 65 on the road. My first injury.
At one point, the trip nearly came to a crashing halt when Eddie rolled Alice.
Yeah, it was a little bit scary, but you know what? This is all part of the adventure.
It's a glimpse of life on the land.
Thank you very much, Bede. It's something I just wanted to do, and quite frankly, I probably needed to do it.
Eddie's own story is about a girl who needed to get lost in the middle of nowhere in order to find herself.
I've had depression several times, and literally 3 weeks before the day before I left on this journey, I was hospitalised. I call it my mental breakdown.
Really?
I'd pushed myself to a point, you know, always about the money, always about working harder, keeping up with the Joneses. And I've got a great business. My everyday business is a wedding photographer, but I had just
Really?
burnt out, and I didn't even know who I was. We don't allow ourselves to have time off and really connect with the land and where we're from in our own backyard.
We've arrived at the spectacular Harts Range, east of Alice Springs. Where there's plenty of action this weekend, from country races to the rodeo.
Fantastic. Keep walking, nice and slowly.
Eddie has come here to photograph the Cadzo children, Gabby, Bridget and Imogen, who are competing in the camp draft.
Fantastic. Oh, they've all got their ears forward.
Weeks ago, when she rolled the four-wheel drive, Eddie hitched a ride with their mum, Beck. Now she's back to return the favour.
Beautiful.
She's a connection between the bush and the city, isn't she? Which is what we need.
I think it's probably more than what we need. I think it's a survival now for the bush, for the city to know just what we're like.
And you're pleased with her photos?
We've never had family photos like that before. We live 200 k's from the nearest town. Just to get a plumber is an issue, let alone a photographer. So we're pretty fortunate, yeah.
Eddie hopes the photos from her trip will encourage city slickers to head way out beyond the black stump
Everyone had their ears forward, even champagne.
Oh, really?
and share a cuppa with people like Beck.
Just go on a dirt road for 20 k's. Just get out of the car and look at the stars and take in the fresh air and enjoy it. Because I think you've got to kind of push yourself a little bit if you're ever going to experience it. And you know, all these beautiful resorts and B&Bs in the country. Oh, don't get me wrong, they're lovely, but that's not real bush.
It's not the bush.
No.
I love it when you talk like this, because you love it, don't you?
I do. I'm so passionate about it. I want to be a voice for the bush. I want to give back to the people who give so much to the rest of Australia and are forgotten about. You know, they don't have medical service on their back doorstep. They don't have great education. You know, they pay expensive bills for crappy internet. It does my head in. It's unfair. They pay the same taxes as everyone else, and the cost of living in the bush is so expensive.
The spirit of the bush has breathed new life into this wanderer.
Hello, welcome. Sophie, lovely to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Eddie has been warmly welcomed into the homes of families across Australia.
And I saw that you were doing this big trip and kind of just followed you all the way. And I went, oh, she's looking for a place to stay around Tamworth.
Clearly, farmers like the Uren family have enjoyed having a new face at their kitchen table.
Cheers. Cheers. Welcome.
Yes, well, thank you very much for having me. Lovely to meet you all.
Now that you're so up, it's hard to believe you were ever down.
Yeah.
Now got to ask the personal question, what are you on?
The bush has saved me in more ways than one. I've been planning for this trip for 2 years, and I've had some times where I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, you all do, but without risk, there's no reward, Wooly, is there?
That's true.
Big smiles. The experience and the warmth and the hospitality and the friendship of these bush people is something I will forever hold in my heart. Who's got sore teeth? I'm a new person. I've never been so happy. It's amazing. It's been amazing.
Back in deepest Whoop Whoop, we make a pit stop. This is when they built them solidly. She is a beauty.
She is. I do love Alice.
And take time to inspect Alice, the trusty 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser purchased on eBay. Battery's good?
Battery's good, but yeah, the alternator seems to have gone at the moment, so...
Seems to have gone?
Yes.
We've switched the engine.
Yes, I know, so I might have to do a roll down the hill.
So I push you and you do a jump start?
Yeah, we'll try that.
Okay. Am I going to be able to push this? Some blokes find a girl who can do everything slightly intimidating. But not me. I just do what I'm told.
Thanks, mate. Let's go.
That would have been awkward if it hadn't started. All right, wait for me. Out at the ranges, it becomes clear that it's not just the bush that's stolen Eddie's heart.
I did come on this trip as a single woman, and I may or may not have found my own rigger from the top end.
She met a bloke named Tyler while taking photos at a station up north. So, this is a girl?
This is the girl, Edwina, the one that strolled into my camp. Actually thought it was some backpackers, but it's a nice Aussie lady. Jumped out with a dog. I think most of the connection was between me and Geordie at the time.
So you like the dog and then the affection for the girl followed?
Yeah, definitely did.
I did arrive and I thought, oh, geez, he's a bit of a good looker. No, it's pretty special, I think. Pretty, I guess, pretty unexpected as well.
But Eddie's a girl who just can't stay still. And I suspect her true love will always be the outback. And I take comfort in just knowing that she's out there somewhere under a cloud of dust on the world's biggest horizon. We'd like to be there, even though we're not.
Yes. As much as they'd like to be there, they should be there. I don't know anyone who's lived or spent a decent amount of time in the bush that doesn't miss it. And once it gets into your blood, it does not leave. It's like that. It's the best drug in the world.
You are a remarkable person, and I actually feel better for having spent time with you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't say that very often to my subjects.
That's very kind.